Welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today we are not making soap or a bath and body product at all. We're going to make slime, like children's GAC type slime. That's what we're doing today. If you watched last week's video, we made Play-Doh, and today is the slime version. There is a traditional homemade slime recipe that has borax as one of the ingredients. That's the kind I made with my kids when they were growing up. I also have a borax-free version recipe. So we'll be making both and compare the consistency, how we like them. It's very inexpensive to make, super simple to make, easy ingredients to get a hold of. And I think kids of all ages, even my adult children, love to play with this. I do. I made it for my kids when they were growing up. Now I'm making it for my grandchildren. And so what a fun project. And we'll talk about how to bottle it and label it. If you were going to bring this to a farmer's market and sell it at a craft fair, you could do that too. So we'll talk about all of that. So let me gather all the ingredients and let's come back and make some homemade slime or GAC. Or is there a difference between the two? I'm not that proficient in this stuff, but that's what we're making today. All right, we are ready to make our first batch of GAC, slime, whatever you call it. And again, I don't know the difference. If there's a difference, please let me know down below. But this is 3 ingredients that you need to make it, and then I will show you some extras that I'm going to be adding. So you need a school glue. I got this. It doesn't have to be this brand. It can be generic, just a good school glue. It can be white or clear. Clear makes really fun slime. And then you need borax for this version. The next version will be borax-free. So those are the 3, and water. That's the 3rd ingredient. With these alone, you can make an awesome slime to play with, and this is all you need. But we're going to kick it up a notch like I like to do. You know me. Some extras. Color. So we got our food color that we used in our Play-Doh last week, a few drops of this. The key is when you make a batch, you want to color it before you add the borax, which is the activator that's going to make it clump together. You want to do your coloring before then so you can stir it in really well. So colorant is an extra you can add. And then the special ingredient here is you can either add a little bit of oil, which makes it not as sticky. It gives it a little gloss and a little stretch. Again, totally optional. Or what I'm going to be doing is you can add lotion, and it really does add a soft feel. It gives it a little extra stretchiness, and I love how it feels in my hands. It takes away any sticky edge to it. I like it. I have homemade lotions. They all have very mature scent to them, and I didn't want, my grandbaby's playing with sandalwood scented slime. I don't know why, but I went up to my little travel case. I just traveled and this was airline approved. So I have some store-bought lotion, which I typically don't use. And I will be adding about 1 teaspoon of this store-bought lotion to my slime recipe to kind of add to the skin feel and the stretchiness of it. So this again is optional, totally, you can leave it out. You can use any kind of lotion you want. If you have a scented one and you want the fragrance, that's totally up to you. You could add a few drops of essential oil in here if you want. You've got some flexibility. But let's get to measuring out our recipe. The first ingredient we need is our glue, and we need 8 ounces or 227 grams of glue. And I'm going to add it straight into my mixing pot here. Tear the scale out, and the next ingredient is part of our water, and we need 6 ounces or 170 grams of water. There we go. And that's it for the glue mixture measuring. Let me get the glue and the water fully blended together, and then I'll add a couple of drops of food coloring in here and my lotion. All right, that's looking pretty well blended. I will go ahead and measure. I'm going to tear out my scale and measure my little teaspoon of lotion in here and tell you what I'm actually getting, because I feel like telling you a teaspoon isn't very precise. So let's go ahead and add, there we go, about that much lotion. And that turned out to be about 5 grams. 5 grams of lotion is what I'm putting in. And now, let me take the scale away. Oh my, to choose a color. Let's do blue. That sounds fun. And I'm bringing this slime down to our beach house that will be by the ocean, so I think blue will be fun. I'm not sure how many drops I want to add. I'm going to add, there's 4. Let's see how that looks after we stir it, and we can adjust more. Ooh, that's pretty. That's so pretty. All right, that looks perfect. I don't think I'm going to add any more. Love it. I wish it stayed swirly like that. You can make several different colors of slime and then make like little snakes and line them up. So when you jar it, you'll have swirls of color. You can get so creative with this stuff. It's amazing. But I think that's gorgeous. That actually looks like an ocean blue. All right, now it's time for our activator, which is the borax and water. Let me tell you what I've got. I just went ahead and pre-made it so it was all dissolved in here. I have 4 ounces or 113 grams of water mixed with 0.17 ounces or 5 grams of borax. And that is what's in this little cup. And now all that's left to do is blend the two together. All right, and it'll start to clump up, which is very normal. That's what you want. That's the borax reacting with the glue. And at this point, see how sloshy it is? I wouldn't really want to get my hands down in there, so I'm going to wait till it all kind of clumps together before I put my fingers in this. There's a little bit of water that isn't absorbing, but that's okay. If you let this sit or you keep kneading it and stirring it, it will absorb. So don't panic if it doesn't all cling together at once. There we go. Now it's looking a little less sticky on the sides. Let me go ahead and get my hand in here. And I just want to kind of fold it and knead it and try and absorb in that water. The other thing you can do, if you don't have the patience to sit here and get your hands all gooey, at this point you can just walk away for about an hour and it will slowly absorb the liquid in here. No big deal. So if you don't want to fuss with it, you can walk away at this point for a little bit. All right, and that's what I'm going to do. There's a little bit of moisture. I'm just going to let that sit for about 5 or 10 minutes and come check on it. All right, it's been about 5 minutes. There's just a little bit of moisture around the outside edge here. Let's scoop it up and see how we're doing. It's stretchy. How fun is that? Oh, it snapped. So it's a little snappy. All right, let's let it continue to absorb. It's so cool. All right, it's been another couple of minutes here and I'm just kneading it. All the moisture has been absorbed. Let's get the bowl out of the way here. Oh, this looks fun. My grandkids are gonna love this. It's stretchy, it's snappy. I love it. It doesn't have any fragrance from the lotion. I mean, that lotion was kind of a low fragranced thing anyway, but I just think this is so fun. It's jiggly, it's pokey, I love it. They are gonna have so much fun with this. How easy was that to make? I just realized before we move on, I want to get this in the jars. So let's, this is just so fun. I was sitting here taking some pictures of it and it's so like blobby and stretchy. I love it. So I need to cut this in half. I have 8-ounce jars here, clear, straight edge, 8-ounce jars from Amazon. I love these jars. They're great for body butters and so many things and slime. So I hope I can fit most of this in these 2 jars. This is kind of a bigger batch, but we will see. There we go. Cuts nice and smooth. And let's kind of let it stretch in here. Oh yeah, it's gonna fit if I cut this evenly. So there's a big air pocket. There we go. That looks so good in the jar. How fun is this? It's just so satisfying to play with these. Okay, got an air pocket. Oh boy, pretty noises. There we go. All right, Let me jar these up. I don't want it to get all dried out while we're making the other one, and we'll talk about labels and do a texture comparison on the next batch with a different recipe. So let me go pull those ingredients out. All right, guys, it's time for slime number 2, the no borax method, and the activator in this is going to be contact solution, and I just got the cheapest one I could find at Walmart. I did try to make slime with a homemade contact solution because I don't have contacts and I didn't have any of this, and it didn't work out. So store-bought solution, and it's because this has boric acid in it, which is the activator. So anyway, contact solution instead of borax. And here are our ingredients today. We got the glue, we got the activator. We're going to add a little bit of oil to this in the recipe, and so I'm not going to do my lotion trick, and a little bit of baking soda. And let's get to it. It's as simple as that. And I am going to color this batch green. So let me get my scale over. There, tear my scale out. I'm going to be measuring in grams now. I did ounces and grams the first one. It'll be written down below in ounces and grams for those who choose different measurements. So glue, I need 227 grams or 8 ounces of glue in my bowl. And again, you could use clear glue here if you wanted to do like a galaxy colored one. That would be really cool. Any glue will do. All right, and then we're going to sprinkle over the top of our glue here our baking soda, and I'm just using regular old Arm & Hammer, and we need 5 grams of baking soda. There we go. All right, and we're going to go ahead and add our oil in here also. Again, I need 5 grams of oil. You can use any oil you want. I just have this cheapo one from Walmart. So 5 grams of oil. All right, I'm going to set this down here while we stir this in, and we're going to go ahead and add in our colorant to this and get it all stirred up before we add our activator, because then things, you know, start to clump up and it's hard to stir things in. So at this point, if you wanted to add any glitter or essential oil or anything, this would be the time to add it. And let's do 3 drops of our green. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. Isn't that pretty? I'd like to make a soap swirly like that. That looks beautiful. Okay, we need up to 2 ounces of saline solution. I'm going to add 1 ounce and stir it, and then add the 2nd ounce slowly because you don't want to over-activate it or it'll get firm and kind of snappy like my first batch. I probably should have eased off on the activator solution. So add it slowly so that you can keep your slime really pliable. Okay, I'm going to add my contact solution in here, measure it, and then I will pour it from there so that I don't overdo. So 2 ounces or 57 grams of saline solution. All right, wow, this little beaker is very full. Let me get the scale out of the way here. Alrighty. And it's very, you know, gluey consistency now. So I'm going to add about half of this and stir it and kind of see how we're doing. And it's starting to clump up there, which is absolutely perfect. And you want to see it to stick to itself and not the walls of the bowl. So it's actually doing exactly what it's supposed to do perfectly. All right, this is looking beautiful and stretchy. It's sticking to me a little bit, but then it pulls away, so that's actually a good sign. Boy, this one was easy, this recipe. I like it. Look at how gorgeous. This is absolutely perfect. So I used about half of the contact solution. I did not use all of it, and I'm not going to change a thing. This is stretchy and luscious. I am loving everything slime should be. It's wiggly, but it stretches and it folds on itself. Love, love, love. All right, let me open up my blue from the borax method that I did, that I think I put too much activator in here. I mean, it's beautiful and stretchy, but it's a little snappy. So if I made this again, I would do like this and add my activator very slowly. Probably do, you know, a tablespoon less than I actually ended up putting in there. Here is the one with probably too much activator, and it's pulling apart. It's a little, see, it's a little snappy. And that, I think, is my fault. I added a little too much of the borax in here. But I think the kids are still going to have a lot of fun playing with this. It's very wiggly, but it snaps. This one, you can stretch and it doesn't snap. This one's much better. I'm loving this, but it could be user error. So not the recipe, it could be the fact that I added too much, just saying. So I would give this recipe another try, go a little lighter on the borax solution, and I bet we could get this consistency. But oh my goodness, how fun is that? Love it. All right, now I've got to get these in the jar and get them to my grandchildren. All right, let's see if we can fit all this in one jar. This might be too much for one jar here, but maybe we can stuff it in there. Let me see. Oh yeah, we've got air pockets. And it makes noises that my grandson, my oldest grandson, is going to love those noises. All right, there we go. And again, the labels, just like I did in the Play-Doh video, very simple labels just because these are for family. But if I was going to take these to market, you want to have the weight and the ingredients on here. But I just did a super simple label for the grandkids, and I love it. I think these are so fun. Like the Play-Doh last week, I just enjoy making these DIY projects. I know it's not really, you know, in-depth soap making or anything, but I sure had fun, and I hope you enjoyed the video too. And I hope you have a wonderful day.